Hello and welcome to another video. Yet again, we're trying something different on this channel. Oh, can't I just stick to one thing and keep it at that? No, that's variety is the spice of life, isn't it? Right, anyway, enough of that bollocks. So, what we're doing on this video is I was going through a lot of my old stuff and I found this thing here. Not the lightest thing in the world. Now, I bought this back in 2008, I believe, or 2009. Yeah, one or the other. As a replacement for my desktop, because that was the sort of time of year when the laptop companies were doing desktop replacements. So a big monitor and all that, and decent spec for the time. And I upgraded from an AMD Athlon 2200, I think. Or was it a Sempron or an Athlon, or one or the other. But that was starting to really feed its age back then. So I thought, oh no, I'll go for a nice laptop and I can carry it around. But, you know, it's portable. But yeah, I'm thinking about getting something, a media machine for the bedroom. And when I found this, I thought, oh, this could be ideal. The screen's big enough. It's a big 17-inch screen. It's also got a really good keyboard on it if I want to do some development or muck around with the emulators. Okay, because some of the emulators use the keypad. So yeah, this is it. So let's get it on the desk and have a look and actually see if it works. Yeah. Right, here it is on my desk. Just to give you a sort of an example of scale. That's my standard PC keyboard there. This is the laptop there, and this is a 13-inch MacBook Pro. So yeah, as you can see, it's pretty bloody huge. Let's see if it fires up. There's one reflective screen we got there. There we go. Ooh, that's that. So it's got a keypad on it as well, which is handy. Maybe a run vice on that and emulate the pet. Right, there we go. I mean, this came with Windows Vista, I think, but I think I ended up upgrading it to Windows 7 because this has got 4 gig of RAM in it, and Vista was 32-bit, so I only was able to see 3.2 gig of RAM. There we go, look. Some focus. Windows Vista, Intel Centurino, which is a Core Duo. Oh, I don't know if you could hear that on the video, but that sound is really crackly. Or maybe that speaker's gone. Right, let's try and remember the password. Oh, that's it. Yeah, so oh, it's not a bad trackpad. Okay, we are booted. Okay, so what we will do is I'll hook this up to the capture and we'll have a look and see what's wrong with it. Oh, what does this say? Your battery is able to charge normally, however, it's reaching the end of its usable life. Okay, well, yeah, it is about 17 years old now. But it didn't take too long to boot up. If I remember, there's 2 hard disks in this, 2 300 gig disks. God, things have changed. Yeah, there's 2 disks. That's a data disk, and that's I must have. There's not a lot on the C drive. I must have done a reformat at some point or restore. But I buggered if I know where the restored disks are, so I'll probably have to download. And that's if we even bother installing Windows on this. Okay. Yeah, let's hook it up to the capture device, and let's just check any devices in Device Manager, make sure all the keys work on the keyboard. Obviously we know the battery's no good, and it sounds like the speakers are a bit knackered as well. So yeah, we'll hook this up and let's have a look. Right, okay. Yeah, we'll set up. This is the capture device from the HDMI output. I've switched the audio so that back to the speakers so the microphone can pick it up. So let's just chuck a... Now, from how it sounds, the left is barely working at all, and the right hand one is distorting like hell and crackling. I don't know if you can hear it. I mean, that is awful. Yeah, it's see, can you hear the crackling? Looks like someone's earbuds when they take them out and crank the volume up full. That's how it sounds. I mean, yeah, that is no good whatsoever. I can't deal with that anymore. So battery is knackered. Speakers are knackered. Okay, let's try the keyboard. So, let's see if the Windows key doesn't work. Notepad. Okay, so can't really do the F key. So QWERTY U. The first row's all right. FG, JKL, semicolon, apostrophe, hash, backslash ZXCVBN. Okay, the shift keys, do they work? Yeah, the shift keys work. Caps lock, that works and it lights up. Good, tab works. Alt, does that work? Yeah, that's doing something. Function, the FN key, does it let me do anything? Well, that's the eject button, but there's no eject. Brightness. Oh yeah, it does. Lets me turn the brightness up and down. So, numbers. Right. Apostrophe. 1 and 2. Right, they don't seem to work at all. 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 0. Plus, minus, and backspace. Okay, does delete work? Yeah, that works. Insert. Yeah, that seems to work. Okay, let's try the keypad. That's the enter key on the keypad. That all looks good. Page up and page down. Can't really test that on here. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think so. It just looks like 3 keys that don't work. So I've got to get a keyboard as well. And looking at it, it does need a bit of a clean as well. It's got a Firewire cable on here and a card reader. Yeah, it's got a little plastic SD card dummy. It's got 3 audio outputs, 2 USBs this side and 2 USBs this side, and one of those eSATAs that's also USB as well, I think. Yeah, not bad. And obviously HDMI out and Ethernet and built-in Wi-Fi. So it doesn't seem to want to connect to my router at the moment. But then it is a Virgin Media Hub 3. I'm not surprised. I've got far too many devices connected to that. Right. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get the thing opened up. Right, okay. First things first, taking out the battery. Okay. So we need to take out the keyboard, hard disk. Also, off camera, I did notice another problem. The wireless card in it has only got a rubbish version of 802.11n. So when it tries to connect to that, the connection drops out. It's called draft N. So we're going to have to change the wireless Ethernet card as well. So these, I think we just loosen these. The screws actually don't come out at all. That's that. Let's just try and... Oh, it's a bit awkward. Oh, I missed one. Yeah, I've missed one here, I think. Oh, I haven't. There we go. So here we go. There's our 8. Oh, isn't that? It's 4 gig of RAM there. That's our wireless card here. That's the Bluetooth. That's hard disk 2, I think. That's 300 meg hard disk. And that's the hard disk we want to change out. We want to put a faster one in. Okay, so and 2 more. Okay, that should be enough for this. So I think we just grab that tab and pull gently. And there we go. Here's our hard drive with a little adapter here. Okay, here's our wireless. So let's just carefully prise these connectors up, because these connect to long aerial cables in the screen. So that's those out. And there's just one screw holding that in. And out she pops. Okay, right, so now what? We need the keyboard out. Okay, so we've got to take this thing off first. Ah, something's not right. Ah, yes. Another screw here. Now we should get that off. Yeah, I could feel it. It probably would have snapped if I had pulled any harder. Right, okay. There's a little cable here that connects these buttons up to the motherboard. Right, so this is off. Right, okay, so it looks like we're probably going to have to take this bezel off. In order to get the keyboard out. There we go, one bezel. And then 4 screws. Okay, nearly there. Keyboard is almost out. There we go, lift that little tab up and now we can take the keyboard out. Right, there's the keyboard. Right, now it's time to replace it all with new stuff. Right, unfortunately, replacement Wi-Fi and the speakers won't be here for at least another week, so that might have to be separate. But what I have got is a 240 gigabyte SSD, and this is the replacement keyboard here. So let's get these opened and installed. Here's our keyboard. We'll do that one first. Right. This goes in here nicely. That's in there. Make sure all these go into their respective slots under here. That doesn't seem right. This ribbon is. Let's just check the old one. It is right. It does bulge up a bit on the old one. See there. Okay, let's just try and get it in. That looks like it is in. Okay, so we'll quickly screw it up. And before we do everything else, I'll just put a couple of screws in. I just want to give it a test. I know we haven't got a hard drive in here, but we might be able to get into the BIOS. And it was the 1 and there's the 1 and 2 keys and the Windows key, which didn't appear to work. Let's have a look. See if we can turn it on without the battery in it. Right, it's coming on. Let's just go into the BIOS. Okay, so it's recognised I've pressed F2. That's good. So let's go to, if we can see on here. We go to the security and we'll pretend to put in a password in. 1, 2, all that all works. Oh yeah, this keyboard's good. Right, let's carry on putting this bit together then. Right, last screw for the keyboard, and then we just got to fit the bezel in, and then the media bar. Okay, a bit of bounce there. Yeah, I think there always was. Right, let's get the bezel back in. clear out of the way. That's in nicely. Right, last thing is this media bar here. Let's pop this little thing out. We've got a little tag here, we can place it and then we can guide it in. We'll try to. Come on, in you go, you little bugger. There we go. That's him. Okay, that's all done as well. Right, let's just make sure the media bar works. These lights should all come on when we turn on. And they don't. Strange. Okay. I don't like this bend that's in here. I think it's... yeah, so it's bent onto that. Let's have another go. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but... ah, there we go. We've got a hard drive light there. And Bluetooth. So I think it is working to some extent, although I don't, yeah, something not quite right with it. Yeah, well, I don't think there's much we're going to be able to do about that. It was working perfectly fine before. So I've obviously done something. I think it could be where I've crushed this bit here. Or it may be because there's no battery in it. And well, it's one of these bizarre things that needs a battery in it in order to work. Okay. Hard drive light, Bluetooth light. Hard drive light is flickering. Okay, so it's trying to do a pixie boot, but yeah, as you see, the hard drive light is flickering. So you never know, we may be alright on that. Right, hard drive. Let's unscrew it out of here. Right, 1, 2, 3, before. Okay, so let's look at the right way around for these things and take this out. Oh, it doesn't want to come out, does it? Oh, there we go. Okay, so that goes round this way. And this goes in here. I presume it is. Which way round was it? Like that. Yeah, that'll have to be it. Okay. So, as we're still waiting, we've got about, could be up to a week to install, take delivery of the Wi-Fi card, the speakers, and a battery. I will put the other Wi-Fi card, the crud one. I will put that back in because I don't want those loose antenna cables sort of knocking around in there. So I'll put it back. I know I won't use the Wi-Fi because I'll get problems with it, but that will save those two antennas sort of shorting against the case or whatever. I'll screw for this, and I can use, we'll do that as a part 2 video because I think we're going to have to take the screen and everything off in order to get those speakers out because we've got to remove the whole panel, which I'll show you in a sec. So this is the hard drive. Let's turn her over. Yeah, the sound card sort of passes through, comes up, so we're going to have to take the whole wrist rest part off. Okay. I am such an idiot. Yes, how to we put it in the right way. Okay. Right, we'll tell you what, we'll screw it in before we put that connector in. And we know it's all lined up. Really doesn't want to go in. Let's loosen this off a bit. Better. We'll do them all up completely tight yet. We'll wait until everything's connected. Right. There goes the last one. In. That's that in. That should be viewable in the BIOS. Right, there we go. One installed hard drive. Let's get this one in, which is the Wi-Fi. Screw. This is the right screw for this. Oops. Oh, it's fiddly. Okay, that's in. Okay, so this one can go on first. Alright, that's done. That was more fiddly than it looked. Let's pop this last screw in. Okay. While we're at it, let's give her a new CMOS battery. Actually, I have got a spare one of these. That's 2032. Right, new CMOS battery. Okay, so let's pop this back on. Quickly tighten these screws up, and then we can reconnect the battery, and then we can look at getting an OS on here. I've decided on, I want a newer OS than Windows 7 or what was on it. So I will probably go for Debian and use a very lightweight desktop manager like XFCE. I won't go the full KDE Plasma route. Right, it's pretty much done. So this video will be in two parts. Okay, so we got today is the hard drive, the keyboard and the OS, the CMOS battery and the OS. And the next part, when the other bits arrive, will be the speakers and the Wi-Fi card. Okay, so for now, let's just make sure it turns on. So we've got hard drive and Bluetooth. Let's make sure. Yeah, CMOS bad, default use, that's fine. Okay, right, so I'm going to switch over to the capture, output capture for this, and then we'll get an OS on it. Well, fortunately the laptop doesn't do a HDMI out until an OS is loaded, so I've got a Debian USB stick in here, so we're just going to go to the graphical install. Okay, all looks good so far. Right, UK, British English keyboard. I may be able to get on the Wi-Fi just enough to download the install. Let's see what happens. Right. Okay, so it's detected the gigabit Ethernet and the Wi-Fi. So let's try Wi-Fi. Right, Wi-Fi is all sorted. Let's call it Dell-Debian. There's my domain. Okay, right, I'll just pop some passwords in. Okay, right. Now we will have a look at the hard drive. So we want to use the entire disk. That's it, the Lexar, the top one, 240 gig. Right, we don't need to split up the user partition and the temp and all that because it's a much faster hard disk. Okay, that looks good. Let's just continue with that. Right, changes to the disks. Yes. Oh, it has done a swap partition. That's fine. So now it's a case of just waiting until it's downloaded and installed it. Okay, right, package manager. So we'll just continue that. Go to the default one. No proxy server. So the base system's on. It's now going to pull all the files down directly from Debian's distro, online distro. Oh, this is one of those, do you want to allow your data? So I'm going to say okay, this is our Windows Manager, right, so I want XFCE. Okay, I don't want a web server or SSH server. This is not going to be running as a server. Okay, now for the big download. Okay, that's the install and download part done. It's just installing the grub, the bootloader. So we'll just install grub to your primary drive. Yes, please. That is the Lexar. I can hear the fan on this laptop. I think it is because those SSDs do run a lot hotter. Okay, this is just finishing the installation off. Intel microcode, eh? Right, let's set the clock. Right, installation is complete. So, I'll click finish, we'll let it reboot, and then I'll pull the USB out. Out comes the USB. Okay, so for some bizarre reason, and I've tried this twice now, once off camera. Oh, come on, focus, focus. We're getting operating system not found. So when it's installing grub onto this drive, into the master boot record, it's not picking it up when it boots back in. So I'm going to have to go off camera to troubleshoot this. Okay, well, bizarrely enough, I just disabled quick boot in the BIOS, and it's all fired up. Okay, most strange. Okay, right, let's switch over to the capture device. Right, so we've now got Debian hooked up. I've installed Chrome, and we'll make that the default browser. Okay, so that's Chrome, and let me just sign into that very quickly. So yeah, Chrome's up and running. Hopefully video will be absolutely fine on here because it's got a Radeon 3650. yeah, seems all right, actually. That seems pretty smooth. I mean, the sound for these speakers is absolutely terrible, but yeah, it sounds really, really awful. So, okay, so let's come out of that. So we've got Chrome on here. We've got a terminal set up. I will set that up for doing, you know, a little bit of maybe development if I need to, because this will be the bedroom computer. Mainly used for media. If I want to sit and watch like Netflix or something in the bedroom, then this will be it. All right. One more thing. Let's just check we can connect to my Plex server. It's on the PC. There we go. We can get to Plex. This isn't my server, but I'll have to sign in for that. There we go. There's my Plex server with everything on it. Let's just make sure the film plays. Yeah, well, that's good to me. So, yes. So we've got our OS. We've got a nice fast SSD hard drive. We've got a new Wi-Fi and speakers on their way. In the meantime, I've got some external USB speakers that I can plug into this to replace that horrible distorted tinny sound that's coming out of it. So this pretty much wraps up part one. So it's usable now. The Wi-Fi coming will be a massive help because it will also, because it's a newer Wi-Fi card, it's got the newer protocols, and so it'll be a lot quicker, because when this Wi-Fi does work, it's slow at best. So yeah, I'd rather not use this one. So new Wi-Fi card is coming, and on part two we'll change the speakers, which would be a big job. We've got to take the screen off and everything else out. While we're stripped down, we'll give everything a clean, maybe clean the dust out the fan, and maybe replace the thermal paste on the heatsink for the processor. And obviously we've got a new battery coming as well, because the battery on this is terrible, as we saw at the start. Right, so that one wraps this one up. It's now usable, and I will see you in the next video.